Mrs. Wheeler, please tell me what my father did to my mother. I need to know.
He was cruel to her. Very cruel.
Tell me what he did to her. I need to know.
Yes, you do. I'll tell you everything you want to know about your mother.
That my father was cruel to my mother.
Yes, does that surprise you?
Not really. I've been having dreams lately. Memories of my father treating my mother badly. Yelling at her. Hurting her physically. Why did she stick around, though? Why didn't she do something to help herself?
Here. Sheridan, nobody knows better than you that your father's power reaches far and wide. If your mother even suggested that she was leaving him, he would threaten her with that power. And then he would punish her, treating her even worse than he had before.
My poor mother.
There was no end to the cruelty that he subjected her to, and to the children. It was as if he took some pleasure out of tormenting them.
Mommy, what are you doing?
Oh, Sheridan, sweetheart, I'm packing. I'm going on a little business trip with your father, but I'll only be gone a couple of days.
Please don't go, Mommy. I don't want you to go.
Oh, honey, it's all right. It's really only just for a couple of days, sweetheart.
Catherine, what are you doing? Our plane leaves for Palm Beach in an hour.
Alistair, perhaps I should stay home this time.
Nonsense. The wives of all the division CEOs will be there. You have to set an example. What's the matter with her?
She's upset, Alistair. She's upset that I'm going. She's young. I hate to leave her.
That's ridiculous. She's a crybaby. She has to learn to stand on her own 2 feet.
She's a child.
Please don't go, Mommy.
Stop that whining right now. You're a crane. Act like one. Now go back to your room so your mother can finish packing.
Alistair, please.
Catherine, I'm warning you.
Please let me stay with her, Alistair.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'm not a fool, Catherine. I'm not gonna leave you here to cat around town. Not after that embarrassing display at the country club last night where you were falling all over that man.
I wasn't. I didn't.
Shut up! Finish packing. We're leaving as soon as I get back.
Mommy!
Your mother hated leaving you, Sheridan. But Alistair gave her no choice.
I can see, how much of what happened to my mother, how much it hurts you.
Yes, it does. As I said, we were close, very close.
How could my father be so cruel to my mother? So cruel to his own children?
Because he was hateful to the core. He made your mother's life miserable. She wasn't anything but property to him, chattel. Someone to abuse mentally, emotionally, physically. Someone to yell at. He never had a kind word to say to her.
She was obviously terrified of him. It's no wonder she stayed.
She was beaten down, Sheridan. She had no belief in her own self-worth.
It's just so hard to hear this. It just breaks my heart.
Mine too. I'm sorry that I've gone on like this.
No, I want to hear this. I was told that my mother got sick after I was born. which means that my father continued to abuse her even though she was sick.
Sheridan, your mother was sick at heart. She tried to be strong enough to stand up to Alistair. She couldn't fight it, though. He had too much power. In the end, she lost everything.
My poor mother. I just wish I could have done something.
You were just a child, Sheridan. There's one thing you need to know above all else. Your mother loved you and Julian with her whole heart and soul. There was nothing in this world more important to her than the two of you. She tried to protect you from your father, but she failed. It's like no matter what she did, she couldn't win. Alistair always won. Always. Oh.
I can see that this is hard for you too, but can you go on? Can you tell me more about my mother?
Yes. You must have a million questions.
Oh, yes, I do. I have so many memories, but they're all so vague because she died when I was so young.
Yes, you were so young. But you know, she spent every spare moment she could with you and Julian when she could get away from Alistair, which wasn't easy because he was so demanding.
Not surprised.
She loved to read you stories, you and Julian. And sometimes you would play this game together where you'd make up stories together. So, once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess, and her name was Sheridan.
Like me.
Yes, like you, that's right. So, it was a bright and sunny day, and beautiful Princess Sheridan decided to take a walk in the forest. So she's walking in the forest, and she has her basket, and she's picking the beautiful flowers, putting them in her basket, and having a wonderful time. And all of a sudden, the sky opens up, and it's dark and stormy, and it starts to rain. It's your turn now.
So Princess Sheridan started to run away, and she ran deeper and deeper into the forest, and she was soaking wet because she didn't take her umbrella. And she had to dodge the lightning so she wouldn't get electrocuted. And all of a sudden, she was lost. She didn't know which way to go. And all of a sudden, a big, giant ogre jumped out from underneath the bridge and said, "Boo!"
Oh, Julian, don't scare your little sister like that.
I was just trying to make the story interesting.
Okay, Sheridan, it's your turn now.
I don't like ogres.
I don't like ogres either. Well, so what if it was a handsome knight with shining armor who comes to rescue you?
Yes, a handsome knight comes galloping on a big white horse, and he frightens the ogre away.
Boring.
And then the handsome knight tells the princess his name, and he invites the princess to come back to his castle for a ball. It's a beautiful place with towers and a moat.
Oh. With a drawbridge. And the knight falls madly in love with the princess. And they lived happily ever after. I remember that story. God, I remember how angry Julian was with me for coming up with such a happy, nice ending. He, of course, wanted the fire-breathing dragon to attack the village and eat everyone.
He always loved that action stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much for reminding me of that day. For reminding me how wonderful my mother was. I feel so close to her again. Thank you. You have made my mother come alive by telling me these stories. Thank you so much.
This is only the beginning. So much much more for you to know, Sheridan.
What? Oh, tell me, please.